Barbados, get up. Good morning. Good morning, Barbados. Good morning. Good morning to you. Good morning. Morning, morning, morning. Good morning to you. Good morning. Morning, Barbados. Good morning. Good morning to you. Good morning. Morning, Barbados. Good morning. Wake up, wake up, wake up. Morning to you.
Well, good morning to you indeed. I join in the chorus in saying to all of you, welcome to Wednesday the 10th of December 2025. I'm Pearson Bowen. Good having you company. Thank you so much for those of you who are watching on our stream who've been patient, waiting. We've waited too, but we're here. We are live indeed. So it's good to have you company indeed. Thank you for joining on our streams on Facebook, YouTube, and our website, cbc.bb. You're faithful to the cause. I ask you to share, and that's what I see you do, and I thank you for doing so. Remember, as you have your conversation between yourselves, have that conversation with us as well. We love to read your comments. That's important to us. If you know of something or someone whose story you think we need to tell, then you need to tell us about that. And you can do so by sending us that email on your screen right now. You see it's morninbarbados@cbc.bb. morninbarbados@cbc.bb. Send it and we will respond to you. We'll follow through. Thank you very much for being good partners with us as well. So it's Wednesday. I'll tell you, I've had a time of my life so far for the week. Tonight, the Barclay Singers are in concert at St. Cyprian's Anglican Church, 7th Avenue, I think it is. We're looking forward to that. My voice is so stressed right now. Then tomorrow, we're heading out to the Caribbean. We have some performances abroad as well. So I'm looking forward to that. I hope you can make it. Begins at 7:30. And it's already the 10th. That means you have 15 days until Christmas Day, but 14 shopping days left. And what are you doing with your time? How are you using your time? What's your color scheme? What's your baking like? Have you got everything you need to have? And what about the gifts? Are you finished? Have you given full thought to who you have to give gifts to? And have you found those gifts? Time is ticking and time literally waits on no man. I also want to take some time to acknowledge the passing of the stellar Maurice Norville. Maurice Norville, who I would have worked with while at Starcom Network. He was quite an inspiration. It was always, for me, a little daunting to have to follow Maurice. Maurice worked in the morning show. I would then come in to do the midday. And having to follow in his footsteps was always a bit tough. But I learned how to stand tall, have a very strong spine, and do as Maurice did until we all got better by doing as Maurice did. So I celebrate his contribution to broadcasting today. And I'm sure many of you feel the very same about his contribution to your lives. Maurice was just a really good man. It was not just his broadcasting strength that we recognize, but his humility, his honesty, his compassion, his spirit. We shall miss for sure, but we do celebrate his contribution for the time he spent 70-some years here with us in Barbados. So, Maurice, fly free, flying free, and you'll be fair, my good friend. All right, coming up today, we'll conclude our conversations as we continue our look at the 16 days of activism against gender-based violence. We want to hear from the police. Yes, don't get scared, because they have themselves a family conflict intervention unit. How does that work? We want to find out from them in just a little while. It's Wellness Wednesday, and so the Barbados Diabetes Foundation will join us because it's also Christmas. And sometimes we lose our way, and they will remind us of some of the things we need to be mindful of as we manage this non-communicable disease, diabetes. Also, Bamboo Retreat will be coming by. They think they have the best Christmas gift to share, and we want to hear what that gift is all about. And you need to know what that gift is all about as well, so don't touch your dial, as we say. Also today, 'tis the season of joy, and some of us find the season difficult to handle because other emotions come to the surface. And so we have a psychotherapist who will help us understand what those emotions are and how we can also manage those emotions in this time of joy and giving as well. And wearable art, the exhibition is back. I'll tell you some details. But today too, you will meet someone who comments on our social media pages every single day. She's faithful to the cause and she's always there. But she's here in Barbados now, and so she'll join us in just a little while to have that meet up. We've never met this woman before. We've never seen her before. I can't wait to sit to talk to her because she's there every single day. But don't go. Right now we begin our conversation by looking at the work of the police service and their family conflict intervention unit. And I'm happy to be joined this morning by Inspector Christine Husbands, who heads that unit. And she's brought along with her some friends of ours indeed. Marlene Hewitt, who is the president of the Professional Women's Work Association of Barbados.
Business and Professional Women's
Thank you
Association.
very much. You see, the words just turn around on me sometimes. But you're here. Thank you so much, Marnin.
You're welcome.
And Melissa Savory, President of the National Organization of Women. And Melissa, thank you first of all for working with us to bring this information to the front, and so that people really take some time over the last 16 days to hear the struggles, to understand better what is the reality, and then help as we work this through to finding solutions as well. So thank you
You're
for your
welcome.
contribution.
Morning, Barbados.
Good. So, Inspector,
Morning.
what is this Family Intervention Unit about?
Family Conflict Intervention Unit. This is an arm of the police service. This falls under the Criminal Investigation Department. We are ultimately responsible for, say, the management, case management of domestic violence cases all over Barbados. So we have like 16 police stations that are the first responders to domestic violence. And they would always respond, and then we would do all the follow-up cases for domestic violence. We accept all walk-ins. So, you know, sometimes persons don't want to go to the police station, but the unit is there. So if you don't want to go to the police station, you can come to the Family Conflict Unit, have that conversation, tell us about your relationship if you're in an abusive relationship, and you need that help. You want somewhere, you want to understand, how can I get out of this relationship? Where can I go? Who can I turn to? We are there to give the support, have the intervention, and of course, where matters are to be referred to the court, whether it's for a protection order or to lay criminal charges, we are there to assist in that process, to ensure that all victims or complainants who make a report to the police, they get the right response. Because before the Family Conflict Unit was established, we were having a bit of, you know, some challenges in managing cases. Everybody was reporting. People weren't comfortable going to police stations at all times, but we are there to assist those first responders to ensure we follow up and every person get the right response. And working with the BPW and the other civil societies, the national organization, it has been very good over the years that we established. And should I say that has been so since 2013.
Since 2013?
Yes, please.
If someone wants to walk in, where are you located?
We're
Or is that a secret?
No, of course not. We are located on Black Rock Main Road. Now, I usually say this is the old Black Rock Police Station.
Okay.
So it's not difficult to find. Once you get on Black Rock Main Road, you're coming from Eagle Hall next to Terrific Tiles. You know where Black Rock Chafet is. In that general area, you just come, you're going to see this, there's signage that say Black Rock Police Annex.
Right. And you assure confidentiality, of course. I just don't want women to think, you know, I turn in and say, you know, my business is all on the street.
Exactly. So that is why that we are there to ensure that, you know, persons, as I said earlier, they don't want to go. So confidentiality is very important. And the persons who are attached and work at the unit are specially trained to deal with these matters. So we have to ensure that we treat persons with respect and dignity. You know, the integrity is there. So confidentiality is very important.
What are you seeing as the trends in the reporting of cases? Is it just physical abuse or other types? Or what types of abuses do you see?
There's a huge mixture, because we get a lot of cases where persons are verbally abused. And what I find is that it usually starts with people being verbally abused, and then this escalates into something physical. Persons would get threats. I would do this, I would do that. They would watch, you know, maybe see things that happened before and say, you remember what happened to a particular person? Do you want to experience that? Those kind of subtle comments that can be intimidating, cause a person to be in fear, even in relationships. So those things do escalate, and those are the kind of trends that you will see. Persons say, I am subjected to verbal abuse, physical. We have elderly abuse where persons are also being financially abused. You know, family members not doing what they want they should be doing. That is care and custody, maintaining those persons, got a lot of neglect, and then persons only looking to take charge of the money aspect for themselves rather than to look after the persons that they're supposed to look at. So we intervene in all of those kinds of situations where persons are being abused.
I'm curious as to what that level of intervention looks like. Is it a case where if it's a physical abuse, for instance, you go in and you say, let's trap this one and we separate you basically? Can it lead to that?
extracting the perpetrator.
Not well. Saying an order comes on and says, well, Marlene, you shall no longer live in this house because you're creating a problem for Christine.
So there's a process, really. The
What's the
process is that if a person comes in and they say, the victim, they're the person who gives the police their guidance. Well, if it's something where we see there's criminal proportion to it. For example, you slap a person, I say, well, that's a criminal offense. You want the person charged? You would say, no, I want you to warn. So you probably just go and warn the person, but sternly warn. You're not to do this because you have committed an offense. Your partner doesn't want you charged, but you can also have the option of applying for a protection order if you don't want the person charged. But we usually advise the person, if you have a criminal offense, you should go to lay charges for that person. But there's a conversation that you would have with the person that would direct the investigation, because we would always follow the laws first, the policies and the procedures, because that is very important. But it's to also ensure that that victim is getting the appropriate response for the violence or the abuse that they face.
It's called a family conflict. Family, that word means something.
Yes.
And our thinking of family is blood relative.
That's correct.
But the other structures of family that exist today, is that something that you also look at the unit?
Yes, because the law speaks, because when we had the amendment in 2016, it speaks to family either in consanguinity or affinity. The consanguinity, obviously, as you just said, relates to blood connection. You have siblings, you have mother and sons, uncles, nieces, aunts, those kinds of structure. We have different structure, as you just said, in society. So we have persons with an affinity that really relates to intimate partner violence. And then you have family who are having conflict as well. And you don't have to, I think we traditionally remember that a lot of persons will have a lot of tension in the household. The household is toxic over some things that you wonder, why?
What's all this noise about?
Yes, what's all this noise about? And those things do escalate, because when people don't manage behaviors, then it does escalate.
And a lot of it too, Marlene, is also a power struggle. Because oftentimes, if I'm the main breadwinner, I therefore have the greatest say. There's some people who have that mindset. I'm looking from a professional point of view here now, because you deal with professional women who feel also that because he's the man, he is the dominant character. She at times can feel, because I am the professional in this household, I am the dominant factor, and there's conflict.
First thing, we don't only deal with professional women. Our name came from over 100 years ago, but we deal with all women.
I don't want to focus on them
but
for a
on
minute,
professional
because
women, yes.
sometimes we assume that all is well with them.
Sometimes it can be a power struggle, and the person who thinks that they're in power, they have that advantage and they are in charge. But usually it's the men, because history, men have been usually persons holding particular type of jobs, where women were for a long time in the lower level jobs. So you might find that. But today I'm pleased to tell you that deaths from intimate partner violence is way down. We came from about, I think 2003, there were about 10 deaths, 2004, 9 deaths. And now we're averaging maybe 3 deaths, and some years 1. And I think 2 years we had 0. Thanks to the police service, we got the statistics from them. So we are really pleased that after all the women's organizations, some men's organizations, individuals have been working on this for decades, we are now starting to see results. And so we'll be probably going back to the police to get more statistics. Now they can't provide it. But I think that means that intimate partner violence may be coming down, because deaths are going down, really far down. But family-related violence, we have to watch that. It seems to be slowly trending upwards. Brother against brother, father against son, things like that.
That's the startling stats that you wanted to share with us last time.
Yes, that's what he shared on the other
radio.
show.
Yes, indeed.
Yes.
So we're seeing positives coming out of the continued efforts, but there's still some areas that we need to pay a little bit more attention to.
Yes. I think one of the things is for gender-based violence, we tend to pay attention only to domestic violence, but we have to pay attention to things like sexual violence and all the other categories.
I was coming to the use of the digital space, because now that's a leveler
Yes.
Melissa, that's a leveler. Everybody, regardless of gender, is in the digital space, and you don't have the brute might anymore. Let's talk a little bit about how this campaign has been really tackling this whole concept of using the use of the digital space, not just to share information, but to sensitize people that, you know, your online behavior is as critical for monitoring as your physical behavior.
Yeah, the phones now are the end thing, and everybody has a cell phone, and everybody is posting, right? And watching posts. Some people just scroll, right? So over the last 16 days, as we know, the theme is to unite to end digital violence against women and girls. So we've been posting online, we've been sharing in our WhatsApp groups, we've been sending out information constantly over these last 16 days, and we will continue to do so, to continue to raise that awareness on what is acceptable and what is not. And like we said, protect online, respect offline, and we're going to continue that throughout. So yes, the 16 days is over from today, being Human Rights Day, but we're going to continue the campaign and continue sharing and educating people as much as we can.
Inspector, it must be an ongoing training session for your officers as well. That they are also aware of the digital space, as Melissa would have said, and to be able to respond to that and not just sit in ignorance of it. So talk to me a little bit about what the police service is doing so that you're sharp on everything.
Well, we have the laws to deal or respond to persons who are making threats to post. And once you post any information to a person that subjects that person to be in anxiety and distress and all those other things that the law would describe, then you can face the court for it. Because, you know, as I heard Melissa said, people think that they can randomly take up a phone or any device and post stuff, threaten persons, even sometimes in relationship. Person would say, after the relationship ended, I can post what we shared, because there's a threat, there's a way to control that person. And the law is there to justify and put that person before the court once that we get the complaint. So I want that message to be clear. It's not something that will be happening and it would not be tolerated in terms of posting and threatening to post law. The Computer Misuse Act, Section 14, I can say malicious communication is right there to deal with acts such as that.
And you heard it, we must complain though.
Yes,
that's a big
complain.
one. People don't want to complain.
People
they
don't
must complain.
Right.
And that's where it was also coming to, because I was listening as well, you know, what can now do or what is now doing to provide that space where women are confident to come and have an ear to help them design their complaint, for want of a better term, but to be able to be confident enough to share.
So we have attorneys that we speak to as well to make sure that we're giving people the right direction. So people can feel free, and they have felt free in the past. They either call, sometimes you get a WhatsApp message. Many times I get emails because they may not be comfortable yet to show you themselves. So they will email you first and say, hey, I'm facing this situation. Is this something now can help us with? And then we reply and say, yes, we can help you, but we'll need more information. We need this, we need that, we need that. And then once that information is shared, then we can move from there. But you must. And sometimes people, a neighbor may know about it or a friend, and they come to us on your behalf. So they say that Pearson is having an issue. And I have to say to them, I can help Pearson, but Pearson has to be the person to want that help. I cannot do anything unless Pearson comes and say, I need to report XYZ incident.
It's the season of Christmas, and at times that these people use that as a leverage to be abusive. What's your message to folks today?
It's Christmas time, so be kind. Let's be kind to one another. Let's share, and families get together and share, and be elderly and so on. And this is a time, not to be thinking about that kind of stuff. But this is also a heightened time because you have money issues. We have people that they want to get the curtains, but they can't afford to buy it. So then you may have more problems in your household. But we are saying if you have it or not, do without it until and I'm just asking everybody to use this season as a loving season, which it is, and let's continue to fight for each other.
I'll give you a chance, Mornin, as well. What's your message?
My message is, if you are having problems, because at this time some people are very lonely, especially if they don't have family or they're in an abusive relationship. One of the things I try to tell people is there are people out there, there are counselors out there, there are psychologists out there. Don't feel away, as we would say, that you can't go to these people. That's what their job is. They've been trained for that. If you had something wrong with your toe, you would see a doctor. See these people. They can help you get through the season and move on.
And so, Inspector, what's your message as well?
My message to Barbados and the people that are hearing, this is not the time to engage in situational violence, because they didn't mention it, we didn't speak a lot about that. But situational violence where, if you don't have it, don't argue about it. Don't fuss about it, because those things obviously would lead then to abusive situation. So this is not the time to behave in that manner. If you don't have it, you don't have it. And just remember that this is the season, like the right said. And the law is there. If you know someone who's in an abusive relationship and they need help, contact the police, Family Conflict Intervention Unit, and let us ensure that by Christmas we all can celebrate and be joyous.
And be one. Well done indeed. Thank you. And that number to reach the Family Conflict Unit, I have it here thanks to Melissa, of course. All on this bag. This is what I'm not sure you're passing out.
We did that joint
Change
hour.
the 8 to 3.
We did that joint hour motorcade that we had on Saturday. This bag we're giving out thanks to Flo. With information, as you go about shopping, people and they need help, they can see all the emergency contact numbers right there in that bag.
Right here. And so for the Family Conflict Unit, it's 430-7323.
23, that's correct.
430-7323 for the Family Conflict Unit of the Barbados Police Service. For the Barbados Professional Women's Club.
One of these days you're going to get it.
I'm going to get one of these as I grow up, yes.
BPW Barbados is
that one.
here.
The Crisis Contact Center number is 435-8222. 435-8222. And to the Wellness and the Wellness line to the Ministry of Wellness is 536-4500. 536-4500. 211 is obviously your emergency number. Thank you so much, ladies. And today is International Human Rights Day.
Human Rights Day.
So we need to be sharper on what those rights are and be a lot more responsible with our actions as well.
And women's rights are human rights.
Everybody's rights are human rights. You're absolutely right. Because this is gender-based. So men's rights are human rights, women's rights are human rights, children's rights are human rights, everyone's rights, even animal rights are human rights. Thank you so much indeed, Inspector Christine Husbands, head of the Barbados Police Services Family Conflict Intervention Unit.
Perfect.
Thank you. Marlene Hewitt, who is the President of the Professional
Business and Professional Women's Club.
Thank you very much indeed. Melissa Savory, who leads the National Organization of Women. That one is easy.
Easy, yeah, right.
Thank you so much for joining us and for sharing over the season with us so that we are now sharper, brighter, better, and a whole lot more. Knowledge holds us accountable, folks. And so now we are held accountable because now we know better. Thank you again.
Thank you, Tom.
You're welcome. Morning Barbados is back in a moment.
Morning, morning, morning. Good morning. Good morning to you.
Welcome to Nature's Discount, the ultimate health food store. At Nature's Discount, we have thousands of quality products at great prices.
Hi guys, Dottie here with Nature's Discount, and today we are talking about Solar Ray, microbiome, probiotics, and why you should be taking them.
And we have well over 3,000 amazing products to help you get healthy.
For your health tips, tune in to CBC TV 8 every Monday, Tuesday, and Thursday for Nature's Discount, sponsored by Get Healthy Incorporated.
98.1 The One. Your number one party station. With an audience from 18 to 40, we keep you engaged, energized, and entertained. Choose 98.1 FM, The
One. Hey there, it's Mahalia. I want to share something that might be really helpful. If you're feeling anxious, overwhelmed, depressed, or lonely, and have no one to talk to, call Lifeline Barbados. We all face struggles at times in our lives. You're not alone. There's no need to feel ashamed or embarrassed. It's okay to reach out for support. Lifeline Barbados is completely confidential. No one else will know you called. They're there to offer a caring ear and guidance without judgment. And fellas, I want you to know asking for help is a true sign of strength. It takes real courage to reach out. You can also call Lifeline Barbados if you're worried about loved ones who are struggling and you need advice on how to support them. There's a saying, a problem shared is a problem halved, but not everyone has someone they can confide in. That's why Lifeline Barbados exists, to be there for you or someone you care about during tough times. Save this number. Lifeline Barbados is just a call away. Remember, you can reach out whenever you need to talk.
Books open your heart, your mind, and your soul. They are educational, entertaining, inspiring, and motivating. Are you an author of a recent book you want to share? Then Mornin Barbados would love to feature your book in our The Next Chapter segment. Send us an email to
Morning, morning. Good morning. Good morning to you.
28 minutes to 7 o'clock. We continue looking at the 16 days of activism against gender-based violence, and violence shows itself its ugly head in so many different ways, but gender-based violence has literally no face. It doesn't matter whether it's a woman or a man, because men themselves are also met by that same force coming from a woman. And if you don't believe it, Fabian knows it. Fabian Sargent, who you know leads the men's organization. Fabian, good morning to you.
Good morning, Pearson. Good morning, Barbados.
This is a serious subject, and oftentimes the man's perspective or the man's experience is overlooked, and
Yes.
it needs to be told.
Yes. It definitely needs to be told. You know, when I first started the men's organization back in 2019, I remember we started in August. So that was just before the 16 days of activism. And our very first engagement with the public or with organizations was through the 16 days. And I remember my group at that time, we spoke of the fact that, you know, but while we speak of women and girls, violence against women and girls, you know, we have to acknowledge violence against men. And we were told, like, this is about women, you know, why do men think you need to bring this up here? And that was the type of sentiment we got back then, and it really opened my eyes. I really highlighted that we have a lot of work to do. You know, we really have a lot of work to do. I started my journey with men's advocacy, I should say, by accident. This was nothing that I pursued as a career. I mean, I'm a professional social worker, and my background really is in youth work and community work and that type of stuff. But I had a very personal family experience that really pushed me in the direction to say, well, look, you know, I joined a lot of the groups, and then I realized that a lot of the work was around victim support and helping women, which is necessary, and we embrace that. But there was very little being done for the perpetrators. I mean, research says that men are the main perpetrators of violence. But what was being done to stop? I always believe in dealing with an issue at the root and not the fruit. And that is the reason why I set out to start the Men Empowerment Network Support Organization, where we provide that psychosocial and emotional support for men. If we can change how men think, change how men see themselves, then we can change how they respond. And that was the reason for the organization. And I think that over the years, we have not been able to put things in place to mitigate instances of violence. Yes, I mean, I want to really commend the Business and Professional Women's Club and the National Organization of Women and the police and all the organizations that have been doing fantastic work with victim support. But I think that there also needs to be a real intentional effort to engage young boys and men to really wrestle this, let's say, demon to the ground. You know, I remember, again, back to 2019, and a lot of this started when we first started the organization. We did a session, I won't call the school name, at a particular secondary school, and we had boys, 15 years old, who said, I believe I'm going to beat women. And these were the things that were coming. So we focused that, we tried to empower boys, but then, modern day, we had a woman convicted for murdering her boyfriend last week, I think it was, a week before. So we are not paying attention to the violence being meted out against men. And I think that is where we need to also go, because while we try to empower men to mitigate or to reduce instances of violence against women, and we support that, we also, if we're talking about human rights and gender equality and all these things, we have to acknowledge that men are also on the receiving end of violence. And as we celebrate the 16 days, there must be a considerable part in there to also acknowledge that we men are also victims of violence. There's no men that were stabbed, men that get hot water thrown on them, men that were literally physically beaten, men that are emotionally and verbally abused. But because of the culture, because of society and how we see men, and how this whole false belief of what a man should be, men don't think as if they can speak out. So many men suffer in silence. I know men who would have been on the brink of suicide because they could not reach out. They did not know who to talk to, where to go. You go to certain places, you get laughed at. Man, you're a man. You get allow she to do you this, you get allow she to do you that. Man, go back and do this, and she only want this, and she only want that. These are some of the sentiments. So some men believe, you know what? Let me keep my problems to myself and suffer in silence. And we are here as a men's organization to let men know you don't need to suffer in silence anymore. What we do is very professional, very confidential. There's a degree of privacy. And I am telling you that for the 6 years that we've been in existence, so many men have came forward to tell their story. So I have firsthand, I'm not thinking there's not things that people tell me or I read about in a book. These are things that I see men come to my office and sit down and cry. I see men come to our support groups and literally cry because they feel helpless. They are vulnerable, and society generally does not accept that men can be on the receiving end of intimate partner violence.
You're saying not the fruit, the root is what you're seeking to do. And let's talk a little bit about that, because in attending to the fruit, we have to deal with the root.
Of
That's
course.
how a tree grows, how it works. And so what are you applying to the roots so that we begin to deal with this problem?
This
and
has
get
to,
good fruit.
Yeah, so the root has to, we have to start with boys. Boys become men. The environment that a lot of our young boys grow up is very toxic. You know, the way boys are treated, you know.
By
families, by parents, sometimes even by their education institutions. You know, their entire social environment sometimes really perpetuates that type of behavior, you know. And so we have to really reach boys, especially during that puberty, that adolescent developmental stage where they are now trying to understand who they are, they're trying to find their identity, they're looking for role models, and I hope positive role models, and they're really trying to find their way in the world. You know, we have to approach it from that. That is where the root is. And we can even go a little further by letting adults understand that the environment that you create for your children, that is exactly what they will follow. Children learn from observation, from what they see, not what we tell them. You can't be violent, you can't be cursing your husband or boyfriend and beating him, or vice versa, man, cursing his wife or girlfriend and expect the child to do different, you know. So we have to pay attention to what we do in our households. It was spoken about earlier about violence against families. Families also have to understand their role in shaping the environment of young people. Then you see when they move into secondary school, you're wondering, why is he so violent? Why is she so violent? If the environment produces that type of energy, that is what will be replicated. So we need to really start with we need to have a lot more education and awareness among young people. And I say, like, because of the nature of adolescence and puberty, because the brain is developing and they have a better sense of the world, that is a very good place to focus a lot of that information to get boys understand their role, and also women to understand their role as well, and to generally understand the whole idea that this is a human issue. This is not a men's issue or a woman's issue. We need women to stop beating men, and we need men to stop beating women,
Correct.
and we need vice versa to stop cursing and violating each other verbally, emotionally, and we have to reach a position where we say, look, this is a people's issue.
Agree. There's a nursery rhyme that says girls are pretty and nice and made of spice, basically, you know, sugar and nice. And so looking at the girl child, for instance, and tackling that route as well, because I know of a story where a young boy entered first form, and the girls came at him. And so he was strong enough to be able to stand up and defend himself. but he couldn't understand what did I do to cause these girls to want to approach me so violently. And while it wasn't physical violence, it was verbal abuse. And so we sometimes think that our little girls are going to school and they're little angels, but girls can themselves also be quite deviant.
Yes, yes, they can. And I know there are also instances where young girls have been
In gangs.
I've seen social media videos of girls got boys grabbled up and pressed against a wall and literally beaten boys. I mean, in our secondary schools, this is not nothing. There's not nothing to hide. This is something that is out there for all of us to see, and that is where I speak about us letting these young people understand their role and understand the importance of treating each other with kindness. We've lost some fundamental things, you know. We need to really be able to understand respect for self, because you can only respect somebody if you respect yourself. We need to get people to that point of emotional intelligence and self-awareness to respect who you are as an individual. Then that respect is reflected on how you treat people. Children will grow into adults, and if we are not able to curb the behavior at an early age, then for sure we can see what will be happening in their adult and intimate partner years.
We have over time redefined what respect looks like, and as a consequence, they get into groups. I'm not going to use the word gangs. They get into groups, and respect means I will hurt, destroy something. And that's how you earn respect, as opposed to for something good. And let's tackle that for a quick second, because I really want people to understand from, as a social worker, what that we say respect, what does that respect really look like?
Respect, you see what happens, there's a lot of interconnected things. And if children don't get something at home, they can go looking for it. That's the reality, to put it in simple terms. Oftentimes, we don't seem to respect children in the space. We don't seem to respect children. And we don't do things to let them feel as if they're valued. And when they then again move into we have to speak with developmental stages, because the brain is changing, the whole idea of society as a socialization is changing. When they move up, then they're looking for this validation. Then if they don't get it home, I mean, we can speak of all the Maslow hierarchy needs and all of these things. If they don't get that loving and that want in the household, they're then going to gravitate to a space. With social media as prevalent as it is, and all the negativity that is in that virtual social space, I'm saying that our young people are socialized. Our people generally are socialized by social media, and the negativity is so heavy that becomes so normal. You know, for you to be a part of the group, for you to be part of this family, you got to do this, you got to do that. And that is where a lot of negativity comes in, because then they get a lot more respect in that space for doing negative things, for being part of, let's say, a gang or hurting somebody. They say, yeah, well, you use no man, you know, or whatever. And not only men, you're no part of us. And that is where it is, that sense of belonging. Like, yes, I am no part of a group that validates me, that makes me feel loved and wanted, even though it is for the wrong reasons.
Folks, this conversation has to continue. It really has to continue. We've only had 16 days of activism to end gender-based violence. And so now you're a whole lot more aware of what you can do. We hope that you take some time to do something about the awareness and begin to examine once again your own family structure, yourself within the family structure, and the results of your actions. They tell me, no, I have some more time with you. And so let's look at that some more, at the family structure here, because I think that's so critical.
Yeah.
That the best example, the best teacher one has is in the household.
Yeah.
And so daddies are doing things, mummies are doing things, and they're doing things apart, but the value is being tarnished as a consequence, because there's no agreed shared value for the family.
Yeah.
Talk to those parents today.
I always encourage parents to look back, because we have some generational patterns. You know, a lot of what happened with our grandparents and the people that went before us, again, we were children, and we are also products of those type of childhood traumas. We are products of how my grandmother treat my grandfather, or grandfather treat my grandmother, then how my mother treat my father treat my mother. We replicate those type of things, and it is important that adults understand where they are starting from, understand the patterns that they would have picked up throughout the generations, and that comes with a degree of self-awareness and reflection. Sometimes it is so painful to want to go back, and that is the only way we are going to be able to move forward in a very productive way and in a way that is healthy for families and young people. There are conversations that we need to have as a society. There are instances of incest in families. I mean, we could sit down and look at abuse from neighbors in the community and all these things. But we as adults, we need to understand where those traumas came from, how they impact us, and how it puts us in a position to create the environment in our family. So I want families to understand that you have a role to play, but that role will also start by you understanding where you started from and have an intentional decision as to say, well, look, this is where I want to go. This is what I want for my son and my daughter, and this is what I need to do. And if I do not have the resources, seek out where you can find those resources and get that support. The support is there. The resources are there. It is just for families and individuals to reach out and say, well, look, I want help.
Do you have the capacity to give this support? Because I know the men are going to be calling you, I'll call them men. So how,
of course, Men Empowerment Network support. We have the resources, but even if we don't have, we outsource. There's so many other. I mean, I'm a part of the Barbados Association of Professional Social Workers. I can lean on them for support. I'm very close to the National Organization of Women and the Business and Professional Women's Club. So it is a network of services. We don't act in isolation, and if we don't have the resources at the point in time, I am confident that I can reach out to other agencies across Barbados to help provide that support. And if you need to get us, our number is 850-6367. We are on all social media platforms, Men Empowerment Network Support on Facebook, men's, MENS_246 on Instagram, or just send me a message, Fabian Sargent, on all social media platforms, and I usually respond. So
it's 850?
850 men's
6367. Gotcha. 850-6367. Fellas, let's reach out. Don't be ashamed to talk. There's some men who are on the other end of that line who will be able to hear you, to work this through with you. And women, let's be respectful of men. And let's be respectful and understand better how what you say or you do impact men as well. And I'm hoping that through these 60 days of conversations about the activism against gender-based violence, that we begin to consciously pay attention to how we relate one with the other. Thank you so much, Fabian.
Thank you for having me.
You're welcome. We're back in a moment.
Morning, morning, morning. Good morning. Good morning to you.
Books open your heart, your mind, and your soul. They are educational, entertaining, inspiring, and motivating. Are you an author of a recent book you want to share? Then Mornin Barbados would love to feature your book in our The Next Chapter segment. Send us an email to morninbarbados@cbc.bb. That's morning without the G. Come and let us turn those pages together.
Week after week, Scold presents exciting reports and documentaries on the most varied topics of our time. Spectacular developments and innovations, lifestyle and trends of tomorrow, mobility and tourism, health news, highlights from art and culture. Each contribution grabs the viewer with extraordinary images and stories and takes him into fascinating worlds which he experiences here exclusively and up close.
Morning, morning. Good morning. Good morning to you.
It's Christmas and time, and we often say to ourselves, I will eat whatever I want to eat. I'll deal with that in January. It's Christmas time, say, I will wear on my feet whatever I want to wear. I'll deal with that in January. And sometimes we forget that we are managing ourselves some other health conditions. Diabetes is one, and we have such a prevalence of diabetes on this island that we want you to pay close attention to what we're sharing now. How to care for self at this time when we're tempted to go beyond what we would normally do. I'm joined this morning by podiatry wound care nurse with the Barbados Diabetes Foundation, Gloria White. Gloria, morning. Merry Christmas to you.
Good morning.
If you do
to
Christmas.
I do.
And Victoria Cox is a dietitian with the Barbados Diabetes Foundation. Victoria, good morning to you as well.
Good morning to you.
She's a very fit and active woman, I'm telling you, indeed. Do you do Christmas as well?
I do, yes.
Good, but everything in moderation, right?
Definitely. Everything, as I like to say, Christmas is, it's a season, but when it comes to eating, Christmas is one day of eating a little bit differently, a little bit less healthy. It's not going to be the end of the world, but sometimes we take it a little bit too far.
Yes.
And it's Christmas from November through to January, as far as we're concerned, and what we're eating and drinking, and it gets a little out of hand.
So what do we do to stay in hand and not out of hand?
I think, still focusing on the basics. So yes, we may eat differently in the Christmas season at functions and events, but I like to remind people, you're probably not eating out at a function all 3 meals of the day. So try to keep the normal meals healthy, balanced, because we tend to be very all or nothing, 0 to 100. So we'll go from being really, on the ball and thinking, oh, well, it's Christmas now, so I could as well wake up and have a conky and a juice for breakfast, when that's not normally what we would do, right? And so yes, when we're eating out, it's normal that you're going to eat a little bit differently, but at home, stick to your guns as much as possible. Stick to what is normal for you, which is hopefully, a balanced meal with your vegetables and your water to drink. And even then, when we do go out to functions or events, I think it's really valuable to look at the food that's there and ask yourself what you're actually going to most enjoy. Because sometimes we take food just for the sake of taking food. We're like, well, I'm going to take a little bit of everything. Mm-hmm. And then our plates are piled high, as opposed to, okay, well, there's rice and peas, but I could have that any day of the year. But maybe there's jug, or there's, yam pie, things that I don't maybe typically cook that often for myself outside of the season. So focus on the foods that you're going to most enjoy, the seasonal foods, and leave some of the rest out, right?
Yeah. A lot of times the diabetic always has a focus on the blood sugar levels. Let's talk about that and how we should be, during this season, paying close attention to what those blood sugar levels are.
I think, part of it is just from a good blood sugar management perspective, staying on top of testing your blood sugars, because there can sometimes be that aspect. And I know Gloria probably sees it as well with maybe patients who just don't want to check their blood sugar because they suspect it probably is high. And they think, I just don't even want to confirm what I think already to be true. So staying on top of frequently monitoring your blood sugars at home, so if it is beginning to get a little too elevated, and understanding what foods are going to have the biggest impact on your blood sugar. So again, if we're thinking seasonal foods, and maybe there's different types of meats and things. So maybe someone has turkey and, well, ham, yes, it's very high sodium, but at least if people understand how food affects their blood sugar, they may know that, okay, these protein foods aren't going to really have any kind of effect on the blood sugar, but all the starchy foods, that's what's going to digest into glucose or sugar and raise the blood sugar. So you can kind of be a little bit more strategic with how you build your meal. And I will always be an advocate any time of year, but especially at Christmas, for not leaning into these sweet drinks, because that is something, I will have, clients who generally don't really drink sugary beverages, and then they'll hit me with, well, it's December now, so I had to get some malts and some this and some juice and some sour. And nothing's going to raise your blood sugar like a sweet drink is going to raise your blood sugar. So I would always try and, even if you're going to have a dessert, don't have the dessert and the sweet drink.
Great advice indeed. As diabetics, we often hear, you have to take care of your extremities, your feet in particular. And so, Gloria, talk to me a little bit about what you see and some of the things that you're concerned about that we should be careful about.
I realize there is a high prevalence of persons not checking their feet daily.
And it's very important to do that because sometimes you would pick up on things that you would generally miss. So being there, doing it daily, you would be able to say, well, that wasn't there yesterday. And you can seek help early enough to have a positive outcome.
So many of us can't even get our feet up across our knee, and so we just see the top of the foot.
Exactly.
But it's also at the bottom of the foot that we need to pay attention to.
We need the bottom of the foot, between the toes. If you're unable to visualize it yourself, you can have a partner, children, anyone in the home. Failing that, you can also get a mirror and place it that you can at least have a vision. And if you see anything suspect, well, then you can go then to seek somebody then to
confirm, to help you with it.
Yeah.
But do it early, catch it as early as possible.
Early as possible.
But because the nerve ends are different now at the base of the foot, you don't feel it. And that's why checking is so important.
It is. Because sometimes what would happen is that persons would, because of the diabetes, because of the high blood sugars, you would get what we call neuropathy. And that would be the numbness. And persons are unable to realize, unable to find out when they have any damage. So, especially at Christmas time, you're shopping, you're doing your grocery shopping, you're not always in the supermarket. You're going your curtains and that sort of thing. And you have on improper footwear. You might have an injury and not realize it. Not realize it because you don't have the sensation. You lose the protective sensations, so you're not able to feel the pinch. So a normal person without the neuropathy would be saying, oh, my feet are burning me, I gotta change these shoes. And then you will be able to check. But a person that is diabetic and would have neuropathy would not have that.
Wow, it is that serious.
It is.
And so not knowing that, then you're open to wounds, whether it's by the rubbing of the shoe against the bone or not the bone.
Yes, please.
And then that creates a problem. And you often hear, we all grow up hearing, if you're diabetic, you ever get cut, it is never going to heal. Is that true?
No, it's not really true. What would happen is that there are factors that would slow down the healing process, which would again be high uncontrolled blood sugars, persons not having proper circulation and so on in the feet. But we always say to our diabetics, if you realize that you have an injury, a wound, a redness, anything that makes you say, oh, I'm a bit concerned about this, you clean, cover, and come. Don't stay home.
Clean,
cover, and come.
And come. I like that.
Yes, yes, please. Because you will stay home and you try to put everything on it, try to self-treat, of course, the internet, and you try to self-treat, and sometimes you make things so worse.
But just clean,
cover, and come.
Come to
us, come to your healthcare provider. That could be your community nurse, that could be your polyclinic, your podiatrist.
Yeah. But your footwear is going to be so important this holiday season. It's not just about being cute. Because oftentimes that's what they think, these shoes are so frumpy looking. I don't want to wear this or wear that. So it's important to pay attention to your foot and the footwear. I know that there is a campaign that's on now allowing people to come and test and perhaps find themselves the best footwear.
Yes, please. Yes, please. We were trained, and a number of persons around the island were also trained. Shoes are available at us, the Barbados Diabetes Foundation. You can go to your polyclinics, and I think also the Barbados Hypertensive and Diabetes and Hypertensive Association as well, where you will get a proper fit, because that is sometimes the issue. Persons try to get, especially for enclosed shoes, persons try to, as you say, to look cute, so they opt to get a smaller size because the bigger size look too big. They want to look all cute, and that is a no-no, especially for our diabetics. Too big is not a fit, and too small definitely is not a fit. You need to be sized appropriately. And
I want men not to feel as if you're left out on this, because men are also diabetic. Diabetes has no concern about your gender at all. It's just your sugars that are a little bit out of whack. And so, gentlemen, don't think yourselves too proud to also have your feet taken care of, because if you don't and you find yourself at that point where it is beyond control, then it might mean amputation. And I know you don't like the sound of it. I don't like the sound of it myself. So let's ourselves at Christmas time take greater care of our management of our diabetes through our diet and the choices we make, and then do your regular checks of your feet. That's where your nerve ends really truly are, and if you miss the feeling, then that's the reason why you need to check even more. Clean, cover, and come. If you see anything, clean, cover and move to the doctor as quickly as possible and let them address the situation for you. But be conscious. Take some time and be really, really conscious and careful. You can still have a Merry Christmas. It's just that you're doing it within certain limitations now. And because you're doing it within those limitations, you will definitely have a very Merry Christmas. When you get out of whack is when that problem occurs. So thank you so very much for joining us this morning.
Thank
Gloria
you.
White. You're welcome. Gloria White, who is a podiatry wound care nurse with the Barbados Diabetes Foundation, and Victoria Cox, who is the dietitian. She tells you, watch what to eat, watch your sugars, test, test, test. Clean, cover, and come for the feet. I love those terms, Denise. So thank you so much, ladies. All the best.
Thank you.
You're welcome. We're taking a break here, folks. We're back in a moment.
Morning, morning, morning. Good morning. Good morning to you.
Week after week, Scold presents exciting reports and documentaries on the most varied topics of our time. Spectacular developments and innovations, lifestyle and trends of tomorrow, mobility and tourism, health news, highlights from art and culture. Each contribution grabs the viewer with extraordinary images and stories and takes him into fascinating worlds which he experiences here exclusively and up close. We're there when companies and specialists develop super satellites for a global network in space and can look behind the scenes. Scold is a window to everything that is there or is yet to come. Fly with us through time to better understand today and tomorrow. You've always wanted that. Scold, a look into the future.
Our world today is not the world God wants it to be. One of the reasons, which will surprise many, is that our planet, its governments, and its peoples are all living under the weight of Satan's rule. From the beginning of mankind's existence to today, human history is the written record of what it means to live under the rule of the devil. Yet that rule is coming to an end. And what a difference that will make.
Every Sunday at 9 a.m. on CBC TV 8, tune in for Tomorrow's World, sponsored by the Living Church of God.
Some ask, what makes Barbados so special? We at Mornin Barbados say it's you, our exceptional youth. You are talented, resilient, and inspirational. You are the epitome of the Barbadian spirit, testing the boundaries of your creativity. If you are an entrepreneur, artist, baker, designer, author, or have done anything you think.
Morning, morning. Good morning. Good morning to you.
The Mornin Barbados News is brought to you by Jordan Supermarkets Spend and Eat 2025 competition.
Let's look at the news now. Government is injecting millions to build new state-of-the-art facilities at the Queen Elizabeth Hospital, as well as to improve the existing infrastructure. It is borrowing approximately 300 million Barbados dollars from the China Sinopharm International Corporation to finance 80% of the cost associated with the design and construction of one building with an outpatient clinic, a patient ward, a burn unit, and a lab known as the Queen Elizabeth Enmore Site Extension Lot 1 project. The funds will also finance the construction of an oncology center, an administration office, and outside works known as the Queen Elizabeth Hospital Enmore Site Extension Lot 2 project. Minister in the Ministry of Finance and Economic Affairs, Ryan Strawn, says the outpatient building, patient ward, burn unit, and lab will cost just over 195 million Barbados dollars.
The term is 14 years. It will be 22 equal semi-annual installments of $8.9 million payable on the 10th of February and the 10th of August from August 2029. So we're borrowing this money now. We have a 4-year grace period before we start to pay it back. Now, anytime you can get a grace period, sir, through you, sir, anytime you can get a grace period, anything, take it. All right? Interest rate, 3.5%, semi-annual payable, as I said, on the 10th of August and 10th of February.
Well, the minister says the Lot 2 project is estimated to cost $196.1 million.
Now, 3.5%, remember I told you the mortgage rates are currently 3.5%. Given where global interest rates are today, 3.5% is a very good deal, sir, given the fact it's over 14 years. And so a mortgage is typically 25 or 30 years. I don't know when your parents might have gotten theirs, but ask them to have a relook in order to make sure that you can have it. Now, this is locked in because this is fixed. You don't have to worry about interest rates going up or down, and therefore 3.5% fixed over 14 years is a very good interest rate. If there's an opportunity for us to have a cheaper rate at any point in the future, the government certainly will take the opportunity to be able to do that, as we have been doing over the course of the last few years.
Next year's Mas Dominique is set to contribute to both Barbados and Dominica's economy. Barbados Tourism and Marketing Director for the Caribbean, Graham Clark, notes a landmark memorandum of understanding signed between the two countries in October, and that unites both destinations in promoting joint travel experiences and developing new opportunities for people. And he stresses that sometimes collaboration and cooperation beat competition. He was speaking at the launch of the 2026 Mas Dominique, which takes place from January 10th to February 18th next year.
Our cooperation also highlights the importance of the recent announcement by our Prime Minister of the full free movement of nationals between these two territories, as well as Belize and St. Vincent and the Grenadines, of course. But this freedom of movement is helping to encourage and to boost regional travel among these nations, and will certainly result in the sharing of ideas and best practices that will help to boost our economies.
Communications and public relations specialist with the Discovered Dominica Authority, and Monel Alexis, says Mas Dominique has grown into a cornerstone of Dominica's festival and event pillar under the Ministry of Tourism, and she extended the invitation to all to visit the Nature Isle for the upcoming festival.
Last Carnival, visitor arrivals increased by 34% compared to 2024, contributing EC 25 million into the local economy. That growth reaches vendors, costume makers, sound engineers, decorators, store operators, hoteliers, and so much individuals. Mas Dominique continues to show that when culture thrives, community grows. This is why the government of Dominica continue to invest in people and systems that make these events possible. Festivals are a way forward for communities that depend on creativity, teamwork, and shared purpose.
The city of Bridgetown is glowing with creativity this Christmas season as students and secondary and primary schools once again took part in the Commonwealth Society of Barbados project in decorating Christmas trees using recyclable materials. Deanza Roberts visited one of the sites and she reports.
In the heart of Bridgetown, creativity is blooming for the Christmas season. Students have transformed ordinary recyclables into extraordinary Christmas displays, decorating trees across the city and in Queen's Park. Miles Weeks is with the Commonwealth Society of Barbados. He says the theme focuses on Commonwealth nations, with every tree telling its own story, from culture to colors to history.
This is part of Christmas in the Square. This is a project the Commonwealth Society has been doing for the last 12 years, and we are here in Queen's Park where we've been doing it for the last 3 years. In this project we ask school children to select a Commonwealth country, and then they are to depict the emblems of the Commonwealth country that they've selected and make decorations out of recyclable materials and decorate the tree to show the emblems of the country. So if I came and looked at the tree, I should be able to identify what the tree is, see an emblem of its flag, see its birds, see its flowers, anything that would identify the tree to the public.
And organizers say this year's installation is the largest yet, but more importantly, the trees should express the values of the countries.
It's open to both primary and secondary. The primary schools this year are doing the countries. We've asked the secondary schools to do one of the 16 values of the Commonwealth, which would represent things like gender equality, rule of law, democracy, human rights. So this is the first year we're doing the values, so we'll see how they are able to represent the values of the Commonwealth in their decorations.
Whether it's plastic bottles, cardboard, fabric scraps, or painted tins, students turned everyday items into meaningful art. And tomorrow, these trees will shine even brighter when the official lighting ceremony takes place. This project is more than decorating trees. It's about the youth knowing the Commonwealth history and the emblems. From Queen's Park, I'm Deanza Roberts for CBC News.
To sports now, West Terrace defended their National Sports Council COB Herman Griffith Primary School cricket title after defeating St. Gabriel's in the final championship yesterday. In a lopsided affair, West Terrace secured an 8-wicket victory to win for a second year, and Margaret Boyce reports.
All eyes were on Friendship, where the weather was perfect. Umbrellas were out to shade the sun, and conditions were pristine for cricket. St. Gabriel's won the toss and elected to bat first. Atiba Husbands to Jasper King waits late to cut to the fence, opening boundary of the final. Second over of the innings, Kaelan Corbin into the attack and strikes early. Liam Clark offered no shot, and the Bills went flying. Clark gone without scoring. St. Gabriel's 7 for 1. 2 overs later, Corbin returned, and this was a turning point in the match. Listen to the crowd. West Terrace claimed the prize wicket of Jasper King. Caught and bowled. He departed for 8. St. Gabriel's in trouble, 14 for 2. Ira Springer was in at 4, and he faced a single delivery. Big appeal, and the finger goes up. Corbin in dreamland on a hat trick. It was a case of red light, green light, 1, 2, 3. Extraordinary scenes. Kaelan Corbin, the hat trick hero, was starring the show, 14 for 4. And the West Terrace fans were loving it. St. Gabriel supporters still in good spirits, but needing a miracle. Well, they would have to wait for it as the wickets continued to tumble. Neymar Ford with the left arm spin deceives Reagan Wiggins. St. Gabriel's 5 down. Jaira Graham was the next batter, and these were welcome runs for St. Gabriel's. But the very next ball, Caleb Haynes got sweet revenge. A peach of a delivery takes Graham's middle stump, 32 for 6. Genesis Maynard was in at number 8, and Haynes was on a rampage. Things going from bad to worse for St. Gabriel's. St. Gabriel's sent Ian Harvey in nets, and he too fell victim. Ford in the wickets again. Really good sportsmanship shown by Harvey, acknowledging a good ball, but his team was reeling at 34 for 8. Haynes was back to finish where he left off, and he did just that. Bowled him. Mohamed Dega is gone. And St. Gabriel's were all out for 35. This was the last wicket to fall. West Terrace needing 36 for victory to defend their title. Time for the chase. This was the second ball, and it was a dream start for St. Gabriel's. Neymar Ford looking to end proceedings quickly. Catches the cry. Graham with the safest pair of hands in the ground at deep mid-wicket. Are we in for a treat? West Terrace not for 1. Kaelan Corbin, however, settled the nerves. A gentle push does the trick. 4 runs. St. Gabriel snatched another early wicket. Graham this time bowls Haynes, 25 for 2. But the game came to an end here. Kaelan Corbin hitting the winning runs as West Terrace defeated St. Gabriel's by 8 wickets to be crowned champions yet again. And Mark Goodrich Boyce, CBC Sports.
You just have to love to see the exuberance of the young people indeed. That's news. More news at noon here on TV8. Morning Barbados is back in a moment.
Morning, morning, morning. Good morning. Good morning to you. you.
The Mornin Barbados news is brought to you by Jordan Supermarkets Spend and Eat 2025 competition.
Some ask, what makes Barbados so special? We at Mornin Barbados say it's you, our exceptional youth. You are talented, resilient, and inspirational. You are the epitome of the Barbadian spirit, testing the boundaries of your creativity. If you are an entrepreneur, artist, baker, designer, author, or have done anything you think should be highlighted, email us at morninbarbados@cbc.bb. Let us show the world our exceptional Bajan youth.
From the beautiful shores of the gem of the Caribbean, Barbados, home of the amazing Harrison's Cave, the tantalizing Oystins Bay Garden, our historic garrison, the indigenous road tennis, and the friendliest people in the world. We are 94.7 FM, the ultimate Bajan experience.
There is a saying, you can find a Bajan anywhere.
Morning, morning, morning. Good morning. Good morning to you.
17 minutes after 7 o'clock, at the top of the show, I told you that Bamboo Retreat has something really special for you this holiday season. And we're joined by the owner of Bamboo Retreat in himself, Steve Andrews. Steve, good morning to you.
Good morning, Barbados. It's always the time of the year when we come and offer lots of gifts and encourage our clients or remind our clients that the best gift of the year is a Bamboo Retreat gift voucher. So it's about reminding our clients, reminding our friends that what is the gift of a lifetime, or what do you give for Christmas, is really that Bamboo Retreat gift vouchers.
And that gift voucher brings me what? Or is that certain value tiers or so?
Yeah, you can have money value. You can have from 150 and up value. Also, you can have services. You know, all the different services that we do, which is the massage, the manicures, the pedicures, the facials, the body wraps, the body scrubs, the body mask. We have a sauna. We have a hot tub. And you can come from just an hour, or you can come and spend an entire day. That's what we do, and that's what we do best. It's really about, there's so much persons that came just as a gift voucher. So many persons that say, I don't know what to give that person for Christmas. They have it all. And someone said to try a gift voucher or a Bamboo Retreat gift voucher, and they came, and they come every year. So it's really a gift of a lifetime. And when you understand the benefits, and when you understand the tremendous emotions, feeling that you get from a simple gift voucher, whether it's a massage or a nail done or a manicure or pedicure, then it's something that everyone will look forward to. It's a gift of a lifetime.
Yeah, we give because we love. And if you love enough, this is an option for you indeed. You know, this is perhaps the gift that will help your loved one to relax, to experience something different if they've never experienced it before, to wake up the next day and say, boy, I could do this again. Imagine those kinds of reactions to the gift of a gift certificate at Bamboo Retreat.
But the funny thing is that yesterday I have a lady, she said she was 73 years old, and the first time she ever had a massage. And she was like, I went to all of these different therapists. If I know which I could just come here and fix my problem. And what was the greatest thing is that was her first massage. And what she thought was a massage is not in her head, is not what it were. And her experience, her total reaction of that services was awesome. And that's why I love what I do, is because of the reaction of persons after they get a treatment. Some people come in and they were like, why I'm here? I don't want to be here. And when they leave in, it was like, is that the same person that was quarreling coming in? And the reaction leaving is, I think it's such a great space, and people don't understand the great benefits of what we do. People see it as just pampering. It's not. It's more than that. It's a tremendous. It heals the soul. Yes. And when you can have something that impacts you that much, that it can heal the soul in this rough, tough world, then I think you cannot give anything else but a gift voucher from
so important indeed. And so for those watching who are saying, okay, all right, Steve, I get you. Where can I come? Because Christmas time is ticking away, and we want to get it in before Christmas. How can I get that gift?
Well, we are in Walker's Terrace, St. George. That's where we at for now. That's where we create that beautiful space. I have not seen any video, but that beautiful video. The space is not what it used to be. It's evolved and have become more beautiful. Every day I come out and I surprise myself every time I come down into that space. It's such a beautiful space. So we are in Walker's Terrace, St. George. You can find us. We are on all social media, which is Instagram, Facebook. You can go to bambooretreat.com to find. We have all the social media you will find us on, and anything that else you need to know, you can give us a call, 436-9405, or you can WhatsApp us, same thing, 436-9405. That any information you want, anything you need to know, then we can share with you.
So book your voucher, come to the retreat, pick it up. Right. And then you don't even need to gift wrap it because it's so beautifully presented.
Yes, it's in a beautiful envelope. It's a beautiful when you deliver it, it's such a beautiful concept. But the gift voucher, if you think the gift voucher is nice, is when you get the services.
I was coming to that.
We hold the high standard that when you come to us is one of the better services that you'll have across, not just in Barbados, across the globe. I think we are bold enough to say that because people come from all over the globe and it's still the same reaction we get. So we focus on quality in terms of what we do.
So this gift voucher you can give to an individual and in different amounts. You work this out, or you can decide as a group of friends, your loved ones, family even. I will give the gift voucher to the family, and let's all go as a family to Bamboo Retreat, and we will avail ourselves of the many services that are there. But we're also spending time to just let our hair down, relax, deal with the soul, heal the soul,
heal the soul,
and come back to the rest of the world again.
Take a walk in the garden, just sit down, go on the swing. Just watch your fish swim around. So it's more than, that's why we did not say the Bamboo Retreat Spa or the Bamboo Spa is a retreat. It's a space where you can come. It's a space where you can sit down. You can have a cup of tea. You can have something to drink. You can sit at the pool. There's so much options you have when you come to us. So most people come and just embrace themselves into the space, and it's like, wow, we don't want to go. So it's really exciting. I'm surprised myself sometimes. When I walk into the garden, I was like, I forget this is like so beautiful. And you sit down sometime, you look out, because that's what spa is about. It's somewhere where you go to free the spirit. So you just don't go and lock yourself in a building. You go where you can free the spirit and say, wow, this is where I'm going to go. Allow your spirit to free itself, run around sometime, and spend time just to meditate, just quiet time by yourself. It's such a beautiful.
In the stressful walk of life, here's a retreat that you can take. And you can do it as a gift certificate. Give that gift to someone who you absolutely love and who you know needs it. It doesn't have to be a relative or a friend. It could be, you just look at a friend, someone, you say, you know what, you need a retreat. I'll give you this gift certificate. It could cover the cost of everything because these gift certificates are built around the services as well. Or you can contribute to another cost. A person can put in a bit more.
Yes.
And that's how flexible it truly is. Give the number again.
436-9405 or 233-3104.
Simple.
So you can reach us any one of those, or you can send us a message on any one of our social media platforms.
Look for it online, the Bamboo Retreat, and log in and see for yourself what we're talking about. But the gift certificate is that gift for the holiday season you have to have. Thank you, Steve.
It's a pleasure.
You're welcome. Steve Andrews, who's the owner of the Bamboo Retreat. They're in Walker St. George. It's nestled, as Kimberly would like to tell us, in a quiet space, in nature, and immerse yourself in that and come back out totally rejuvenated indeed. But the gift certificate is that gift that gives and continues to give. Get it today. Morning Barbados is back in just a moment.
Morning, morning, morning. Good morning. Good morning to you.
God will not give you a job God will not call you to do something and then not give you the capacity to have it, to make it happen. He will give you the resources, he'll give you the people. Not only will he equip you with ideas, but he will equip you with favor, as he did Nehemiah.
Turn on the latest episode of Infinite Possibilities, only on CBC TV8, every Sunday at 1:30 p.m., sponsored by Covenant Life Teaching Center.
Welcome to Nature's Discount, the ultimate health food store. At Nature's Discount, we have thousands of quality products at great prices.
Hi guys, Dottie here with Nature's Discount, and today we are talking about Solar Ray Microbiome Probiotics and why you should be taking them.
And we have well over 3,000 amazing products to help you get healthy.
For your health tips, tune in to CBC TV8.
Morning, morning. Good morning. Good morning to you.
27 minutes after 7 o'clock now, we look at happiness and we say, boy, I want to be a part of that. But do you know, at this time of Christmas, there are people who look at happiness and think, I don't want to be a part of that, because it flashes for them some moments that they don't want to relive. Or perhaps they don't know how to relive. And so joining us this morning is a psychotherapist who's going to help us manage those emotions at this highly emotive time for a lot of people, known as Christmas. Her name is Nicolette Williams. Nicolette, good morning to you.
Good morning. Good morning.
Good to have you.
Yes, same here.
What happens to people at Christmas? I mean, there's joy and then there's stress and everything else at the same time.
Yes, there's a mixture of both. Persons experience the joy of Christmas and they're really heightened about it. But then, as you said in introducing, there's the opposite side where persons isolate, persons feel sad, persons grieve within the holiday season. And we have to be really careful and mindful of persons in our homes that are experiencing both at the same time, or one or the other. And there's signs that you can look out for when persons are extremely happy about the season and extremely sad about the season as well.
Yeah, you're so right. I'm not one who gets caught up in celebrations. That's never been me.
Fair.
All my life, I cannot ever remember getting excited that today's the birthday, today's whatever, and therefore I must.
Yeah.
I don't do that.
Understood.
And so am I quiet in acceptance of that fact? People wonder, what's wrong with you?
Yes.
You know, and sometimes that's what happens, and that triggers some other emotions that we don't want to have at this time.
Correct, because once you're honest with yourself, that's the first thing. As you said, person, accepting where you're at and what you like and what you don't like. And there are reasons why you don't like it or reasons why you don't celebrate it. And as you said, there's a lot of root issues that persons don't want to face and persons don't want to, bring out there and share with others. And this is the time where we need the community of others to actually share those other emotions that we don't want to deal with around Christmas holidays, because that affects our mental health, that affects our emotional health. And then because Christmas is so community, sociable, that affects our social well-being as well. And persons then would miss the cues of, why are you drinking so much? Why are you stepping out to smoke a cigarette or smoke a marijuana substance or pop a pill? People miss that because the community affects that person that has other root issues about the season. And we need to really pay attention to that. Yeah.
And we miss it because we don't want you to bring down my joy.
Correct. You're on point here. You're on point. Yeah, we don't want you to interfere, affect, because this is probably the only time that I may get a bonus, the only time that I may go to holiday parties and I may see people that I haven't seen for the whole year. Do not come into my space. Don't do it. But no, we need community. We need persons to actually share and express what we're really going through, because this is the time. Not saying that the other 364 days aren't the time, but this is the really important time that we need each other.
So what do I do so I don't find myself bogged down with managing your drama, because I just want to be light and free at this time? What do I do so that I can reach across and help you, hear you, understand what you're experiencing, but still maintain my own space too?
Persons are, asking a question. We think that by asking a question, we're being malicious or facetious, right? But really ask, how are you doing? And usually, in Bajan culture or Caribbean culture, we always say, I good. or I okay. But really and truly, if that's someone that you know, kind of like break down that boundary, that wall that you have up, and really start sharing. You don't have to overshare or overexpose, but just share things aren't well right now. And then that begins a conversation, because empathy starts to show instead of sympathy. And then it becomes a more manageable situation. And then you may not have to share everything in that one moment, but then it creates okay, let's talk tomorrow. Let's talk week from now, and you really be held accountable to that, and you really share what's really happening in that space.
There are also sometimes when we do the opposite.
Yes.
Because we know that this person had a trauma at this particular time of year,
Yeah.
we become overly sensitive.
Oh boy.
And that person is saying to you, but I'm all right. I really am okay. But you reminding me of it, now you've created for me an uncomfortable space. So how do we be so respectful and not overdo? You know what I'm talking about.
Yes, I do know what you're talking about. And the simple thing I would tell persons not to do is to don't interfere with that in this time. Don't interfere. Do not be so into, because you want that person still feels. People need to feel in order to share. Right? So when that person is remembering, because memories last forever, our brain holds on to these memories, these core memories. And if persons are experiencing loss or heartbreak or financial strains, etc., you want that you don't allow that person to peel all those layers in 1 second. You want that person begins that trusting relationship with you to open up bit by bit. But you're there to support, you're there to empower, and you're there to say, hey, I'm here when you're ready. Hence the use of empathy. And some people need to be taught that, and some people already have it. But if it is that you already have it, you don't need to expect, because we have a lot of expectations, especially in the season. Oh, you need to share why you still feel this way, or you need to go out and go to the graveside. No, I just need to just maybe process these feelings on my own.
The person who's experiencing the trauma and the memory that flashes back, should they decline invitations for gatherings because they know that in that gathering, it will trigger those emotions?
It is up to the person where they're at in that time. I wouldn't say to decline it. I would say to express where you're at in that moment, and maybe if you can pass through, even if you can do a video call, if you can do a call, and that warms you up to then go into the space, then do that. But if you are not ready yet, don't force yourself. At least still have that one person or two that you can, that may be in the space, that can inform you what's going on. And then that kind of like expands your emotions to feeling more the pleasant emotions to motivate you to go into that space.
And I'm glad you went in that direction, because I want to know, at what point do you get over, or can one ever get over that trauma?
Grief is a journey. It's not a destination. And persons take years, persons take days. So I would always say grief is a journey, because every single thing can easily trigger that moment for you, or that moment can be where you are in the space. Some people experience grief in their own homes. So that person could have died in the home, and you really want to still be in that home because it's your home too. So maybe some people have to adapt, some people have to make some changes, some people have to adjust. But grief is a destination. Sorry, it's a journey. Sorry, it's not a destination. So take your time, get the help you need, be very careful of those social changes, those mental changes that affect your emotions, that will need you to reach out to somebody to not just get help, but to mentor, to coach you, to support you. It could be a family, it could be a therapist, it could be someone like a friend that you may need to just bounce those feelings off of. Yeah.
Is that the same approach when the problem is financial? Because we know that at the end of the month, there are bills to be paid. We know that in January, we've spent everything for December, and the children are asking for this or asking for that. Is that the same approach one should take when it comes to something like that, with financial?
I think persons, you can use that, but you don't have to use it. I think persons need to, again, they need to be honest with their financials. If you don't have it, you don't have it, right? If you do have it, do it in moderation. Just look at where the world is right now and be very smart with your spending. And again, if you know that there's someone that you can ask, do it, because you want to still be able to enjoy. You still want to be able to have a meal, still want to be able to drink water, and not find yourself in that hole, in that space of I'm over drinking, I'm overusing, I'm overspending, and we experience a lot of that. So if you know that you're a compulsive spender, then look, friend, let's go to the supermarket because I only have $500 to spend. If I am at 501 at the clerk, please tell me to put back and let that person hold you accountable because we need that in this time. Yeah.
I'm hearing you to say that one has to take responsibility for one's reactions.
Yes, reactions and not just actions.
Precisely.
Yes.
By understanding your emotions, understanding the processing of those emotions,
Yes.
and the outcomes that could come if you take certain actions.
Correct.
Manage those emotions.
Correct.
And on the other side, the relatives, the friends, those who are having a grand old time right now, manage those emotions as well.
Yes.
Be respectful of the other individual's
Yes.
emotions and their space, and recognize that you should not intrude.
Correct.
Because you're creating damage when you do so, because your lack of sensitivity is everlasting for that individual as well.
100.
That is another part of trauma.
Yes.
And so there's a lot we can learn from you, Nicolette.
Thank you very much.
Thank you so
Thank
much
you.
for coming in to be with us indeed. Nicolette Williams, a psychotherapist, helping us manage our emotions at this happy time of year, but not all of us see it in the same way. And what do? Just be respectful as we go as well, but be honest with the way we feel and be honest in the things that we see. If we can, reach out, not to malicious, but to help indeed, and to be able to understand, to provide that space where they can feel free at their convenience to share, but be honest in your responses and be confidential in the way you manage it as well. There's a lot people are struggling with, truly struggling. And so thanks again, Nicolette.
Thank
And
you,
Shaka, good morning to you, sir. Morning Barbados is back in just a moment.
Morning, morning, morning. Good morning. Good morning to you.
Welcome to Nature's Discount, the ultimate health food store. At Nature's Discount, we have thousands of quality products at great prices.
Hi guys, Dottie here with Nature's Discount, and today we are talking about Solar Ray microbiome probiotics and why you should be taking them.
And we have well over 3,000 amazing products to help you get healthy.
For your health tips, tune in to CBC TV 8 every Monday, Tuesday, and Thursday for Nature's Discount, sponsored by Get Healthy Incorporated.
98.1 The One, your number one party station. With an audience from 18 to 40, we keep you engaged, energized, and entertained. Choose 98.1 FM, The One.
Morning, morning. Good morning. Good morning to you.
22 to 8 o'clock now. Time to turn our attention to wearable art. I know you're asking yourself, what's that about? We've talked to you about this before. Have you forgotten? Wearable Art, the exhibition is on. And joining me is, of course, the curator and my good friend, Onika Small. She's the one who runs the Queen's Park Gallery. Onika, good morning to you.
Good morning, person.
Do you
good
do
morning,
Christmas?
Barbados. Do I do Christmas? My husband says I do it every year, but I don't claim it.
But you still do it?
I love Christmas.
You love Christmas, all right.
I love the time of year. I love the atmosphere. The air is different. The views are different. Everything is crisp. People are generally happier.
Correct.
And it's about family and sharing and that kind of stuff.
And you with your creative, I would love to see what your house would look like, honestly.
I don't do it that well at home. Because it's more about, I think, having a clean space with lots of love.
Yes.
Not necessarily all the decorations. So I always say whatever I have, I'm going to use, and I'm going to make it look as best as I can.
And that I know you do very well. When Onika walked onto the site, I said, wow, again, wearable art. Wearable art. And so this exhibition showcases what?
Basically, as you said, anything that you can wear. So jewelry, clothes, accessories. We have a wide range of stuff. So this is almost like our end of year salute to our fine craftsmen, and it gives our creators an opportunity to sell their work. As well, the patrons come out in their wearable art.
Yes.
So you see people dressed up, their face paint. It's an experience. I almost feel it's like our end of year party at Queen's Park.
And so when you walked on, I looked at you from the head down, and I thought, wow, what a different way to carry your hair, to wear your hair.
Correct.
And there are creatives who specialize in hairstyles and all the rest of it, and there are others who work in textile and so forth. And all of that is the experience at the exhibition?
All of that is experienced at the exhibition. I wouldn't say that we have like hair examples on display, but people come out. They come turned out in their best and their art. Sometimes they're wearing their purchases from the previous year and they've integrated their own style. So it gives people an opportunity for them all to be artists and creative and to show that forth. And then we have things for sale, of course.
And then things are for sale indeed. When is the exhibition running from?
We open on Saturday, so this Saturday, yeah, between 6 and 8. So everybody is welcome. It's free. It's always a good time. And then we run until January 3rd, so next year. So just for this whole Christmas season.
So this Saturday from 6 o'clock in the evening, Queen's Park Gallery is free. Come, wear your art, and come see how other people depicted wearing art. And also engage with the exhibits and purchase, because our artists, look at your screen, And this is some of the work that you see, from footwear to body adornments.
Correct.
All of those things.
And then they're just always like slightly different. So they're not necessarily things you're going to find in the store. They're not mass-made commercial objects. So you can almost feel comfortable knowing if you buy something and wear your art, that when you wear it to that party, you're not going to see somebody else, because that's always an issue. You're not going to see somebody else in it. So you feel very distinct and you feel unique.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And this exhibition runs until the 3rd of January. And but don't say for yourself, oh well, I have a long time. 3rd of January sounds so far. It's not that far here.
It's true. And then in that period, we also have those bank holidays. So Christmas we're closed, Boxing Day. So there's not as much time, and there's never as much time with an exhibition to go.
So Saturday is free.
Saturday is free.
And do we pay for the exhibition to enter the exhibition?
Every day
visit is a free visit.
It's a free visit.
So take the family, take the children down and see for themselves. Open up your minds, open up your ideas, and be there. But you know what? Bring your idea as well. Wear your idea, because we get inspiration one from the other.
Correct.
Definitely. And that's what it's about. Yeah. So the exhibition is on. It's totally free. It starts this Saturday, opens this Saturday, runs until the 3rd of January. Be mindful of some days when the exhibition will not be open because of holidays. But when the exhibition is on, we want to show you, see you turn up in your numbers. What time is the gallery open?
We open 10 to 6, Monday to Saturday. So
10 to 6,
good long hours.
Yeah, 8 hours.
And then there's
8
also,
hours.
it's just always nice to be in Queen's Park. You know, before you had the segment on the trees. And so there's always something nice. So you could have a nice experience within Queen's Park. You could visit the art, you walk through the park, you look at the trees. It's just a nice place to be.
Yeah, so you really got to come down for us. You let the Queen's Park really take over your spirit for the Christmas season.
That's right.
And you know what comes up on Christmas Day for sure. So look out for that as well. But wearable art is on display in the gallery. It's absolutely free to enter every single day from 10 in the morning to 6 in the evening. So take time out. Take time out to use your holidays, not to just simply sit and eat and go to sleep. But
that's
to also
not bad
go
too, though.
in. It's not bad. I agree with you because I want to sleep. But you know, at the same time, use your time to do something else too.
Yeah, and I always say support local creatives. A lot of the times we go to very commercial stores, but we have beautifully crafted items that are on par with any designer anywhere. And actually, they might outshine some of them, and they're very much made with either our local materials or just local thoughts and ideas.
So give me a sense of what's on exhibition then, from textiles
So we have textiles, so we have like some of our older designers. I always say like our NIFCA judges are all participating. So we have Glenn Brathwaite, we have Catherine Rochford and her jewelry, we have clothing as well. So what we saw before was from Margaret Herbert, and she usually participates every year as well. And then we also get shoes.
Whoa.
Somebody sent me a picture of some shoes, and they had wings on them, and they were actually flapping. So very creative, that you wouldn't see anywhere else.
Pieces.
I say that statement pieces, but then they also bring more of their commercial lines as well, but again, unique commercial lines. So everything.
It really is a marketplace.
It is.
A marketplace of wearable art.
Correct. And scarves as well.
And scarves as well. I can hear the girls lining up for sure. But you know, imagine the statement you make by wearing a piece of art. And a piece of art that's practical, applicable, but it's outstanding and it creates a conversation. And you could buy it. You can buy it when you visit the gallery, the Queen's Park Gallery, for the Wearable Art Exhibition. It starts on Saturday, runs until January the 3rd. The gallery is starting on 6 o'clock on Saturday for the opening.
right.
But then weekdays, we're going from 10 in the morning till 6 in the evening, and it's absolutely free. Do I have to walk with cash, or could I use a card when I'm
You
purchasing?
can use a card when you're purchasing.
Okay, good.
We have, once they're working.
That's a good thing to know, though. Seriously, because a lot of times people think, if I go to the gallery and I'm purchasing, I don't know if they have the technology.
We have the
to walk with
technology.
cash.
We
But
have
they have the technology.
And you can even do electronic transfers straight to
Really?
the accounts department and that kind of
Good,
stuff as well.
good.
So we find every way to take your money.
Well put. Indeed. But be fancy, folks. This is really a wonderful, wonderful experience, I think. And I would love to see, hopefully, do you have young people, young children, for instance? How young is the
Yeah, well,
exhibitor?
we sometimes will have families. So one of the pictures, I don't know if it was shown, was with Yannick Hume and her daughters. They usually come and
we
they're
showed.
dressed.
Can we see that picture
so
again?
the families come out, groupings come out. So it's for everybody.
Yeah. Is this what you're talking about here?
Yes. And that's from, I can't remember if that's last year or year before, but Yannick and her daughter and Taitu. So you can see that they actually did face painting and they come out and they turn out.
But look at what they're wearing.
Correct.
How they've used the fabrics.
And then this one is Pauline Bellamy and a creation by Shanika Burnett,
Wow.
Shakar Designs. And Pauline is actually going to be doing our feature remarks.
Oh, nice.
So
nice.
we're really excited about that.
That's on Saturday, folks, at
That's
6
on
o'clock
Saturday,
in
yes.
Queen's Park Gallery. So come here, Pauline Bellamy, share. And Pauline Bellamy is one of our well-known designers here.
Yeah, she's fantastic. She was in our first show, which 3 years ago, and she did a piece called Bag Lady that I feel like went all over the world. It just incorporated all our feelings as women and everything that we carry. She doesn't have work in this show, but she's actually going to do the feature remark. She's fantastic. I'm hoping that she's able to then inspire some of the younger designers as well.
And that's what I also like to hear, because while we come to visit, we can engage with the artists on display and the products that they have on display, but give them your perception of you and let them craft and create you, create that wearable art for you.
Correct.
And that's what I hope that we really see happening while in the gallery as well. So when you come and you walk with your card, because the technology is there, you can do transfers as well, that you have that moment to spend with the designers,
Correct.
the people who are on display, and talk and say, you know what, maybe I'm a little too classic. What do I need to do? Because I do have that quirky side of me. What do you think? What colors do you think would
We
work
have
for
some
me?
lovely ties, I hear, that are batik that Aisa designs. They're bringing into this show, so we can put a little quirk in your conventional.
See, they take off already. And that's what it's about. That is the experience that you'll have when you come to Queen's Park Gallery for this wearable art exhibition. I want you to bring the children, ladies and gentlemen. Bring the children. They will be inspired, because we have now a generation of young people, Onika, who are so interested in art and fashion and everything else, whether they're living online or not, and they want to be able to create. And I think this is a space for inspiration, as you were saying.
Correct, definitely.
So allow art teachers who bring the children down and let them come and be a part of it as well. So again, remind us the times and the days.
So we open this Saturday, December 13th, 6 p.m. to 8 p.m. And then we also are open during the week from Monday to Saturday, 10 to 6.
And it's free.
And it's
Come with your cash, your cards, and your everything. Indeed, we are ready.
Come with your eyes. You could just look as well.
That's right. You can also do that. But I guarantee you that you will find something in there that you will say, oh, I want to have that, and I must have that. The brilliant thing about all of this is that you are finding unique pieces.
You will. And then I also tell people there's always a nice price point as well. So we have a lady who does beautiful crochet earrings. Every year I buy one or two. And they make lovely gifts, and they're at a price point that you're going, oh my gosh, this creativity, but she's selling them that's so accessible to everybody. And then there are these statement pieces as well.
That's why we should visit the exhibition at Wearable Art, the Queen's Park Gallery. It opens this Saturday from 6, and then weekdays from 10 o'clock in the morning till 6 in the evening. Absolutely free. Bring everything and come with everything so that you can get everything that is there as well, because everyone will be there as well. Don't miss it, indeed. But it's an opportunity for you to display your own wearable art as well, because who knows, a designer might be thinking, I perhaps need to hire you. You
That's
never know.
right.
Show
We've
up.
also had a case where somebody wore something to the opening and we got it the next day and we put it on a mannequin so that people could see it.
That's what I'm telling you about. That's the kind of experience that you'll have.
Yes.
Onika, again, thank you so much.
Thank you so much.
You're very welcome. If I don't see you again before the holidays, well, Christmas Day, I wish you a very Merry Christmas.
I wish you a very, very happy holiday season.
Thank you
with
so
lots
very
of rest.
And you too.
Thank you very much.
You're welcome. Morning Barbados is back in just a moment.
Morning, morning, morning. Good morning. Good morning to you.
Hey there, it's Mahalia. I want to share something that might be really helpful. If you're feeling anxious, overwhelmed, depressed, or lonely and have no one to talk to, call Lifeline Barbados. We all face struggles at times in our lives. You're not alone. There's no need to feel ashamed or embarrassed. It's okay to reach out for support. Lifeline Barbados is completely confidential. No one else will know you called. They're there to offer a caring ear and guidance without judgment. And fellas, I want you to know asking for help is a true sign of strength. It takes real courage to reach out. You can also call Lifeline Barbados if you're worried about loved ones who are struggling and you need advice on how to support them. There's a saying, a problem shared is a problem halved, but not everyone has someone they can confide in. That's why Lifeline Barbados exists, to be there for you or someone you care about during tough times. Save this number. Lifeline Barbados is just a call away. Remember, you can reach out whenever you need to talk.
Books open your heart, your mind, and your soul. They are educational, entertaining, inspiring, and motivating. Are you an author of a recent book you want to share? Then Mornin Barbados would love to feature your book in our The Next Chapter segment. Send us an email to morninbarbados@cbc.bb. That's morning without the G. Come and let us turn those pages together.
Morning, morning. Good morning. Good morning to you.
We have 8 minutes to go until 8 o'clock, and who would have thought that I would ever get the chance to meet one of those people who live online with us every single morning, who is one of the first people to jump in every time, and she's here with me. Ladies and gentlemen, you've seen the name Patricia Ben. Patricia Ben is right there. Good morning to you, Pat.
Good morning, Pearson.
Welcome home.
Thank you, thank you, thank you. What a privilege. What a privilege it is.
You are as warm and engaging as I've always thought you to be.
Thank you, Pearson.
You're
thank
welcome.
You, thank you.
What are you doing, Bohe?
I am in Barbados, unfortunately, because my sister-in-law passed suddenly.
Condolences.
So, thank you. So we came in for the funeral. Unfortunately, I can't stay as long as I would love to stay. But I'm happy to be here, and I'm happy to meet you, Pearson.
You too, me. And
what
so
a privilege.
I did a little searching up on you.
You did?
I did.
Oh.
May 23rd is a big day for you.
Very big day. I'll be 79 on my next birthday.
You serious?
Very serious.
You look fantastic.
Thank you. Thank
You're
you.
very welcome.
Thank you.
And you are a product of the St. Leonard's Girls' School.
Yes, I am.
So you know
I
you?
spent 2 years at St. Leonard's, and then I went on to the Washington High School. Yeah.
So you know you? Let me go through. You love Pebbles Beach. As a matter of fact, when you arrived, you went to Pebbles Beach.
No, the first beach we went to was Browns Beach, and then we went to Pebbles. I was at Pebbles again last night.
That's what I tell you.
I have been at the beach every day since I came here. I am a beach person because, you know what? This goes way, 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 way back. Many, many, many years ago when I left Barbados, I first left Barbados, I went to live in England. And my husband said, let's go to the beach. And I thought, okay, I'm excited. And of course, of all the names he called was Brighton.
Yes.
And you know, we have Brighton Beach.
Yes.
So I'm really excited. I got all dressed, packed the basket, you know, got to the beach. He got out of the car and I saw him walking around and I thought, when are we moving? He goes, oh no, we're here. And I was like, here where? He says, this is the beach. I said, you know what, dear? Can we go back to London? And ever since then, I really appreciated what I had left in Barbados. And I made myself a promise that whenever I go home, I will make as much as possible of the beach. And I do. Last night we went to the beach. It was almost a sunset beach evening. The sun was going down. It was wonderful.
Your friends overseas must be so jealous of you right now.
I know. I'm sorry. It's not my fault.
Not your fault. You're just doing you. And so here it is now. You love Q in the community.
Oh, I love Q. I don't miss Q. I was on the plane watching Q. As a matter of fact, no one can call me during Q time. Nobody calls me on a Thursday because they know that I'm not going to be answering. I'm not going to be answering. Yeah. I'm a Q girl.
Do you know where Q in the community is tomorrow, Thursday?
My brother told me. I thought it was going to be at the Garfield Sobers, but
no,
he told
that
me
was
it's
last
going
week.
to be. But wherever it is,
I'll
trust
tell you,
me,
it's going to Highgate Gardens.
That's what he said.
That's it.
That's what he said.
So that's where you shall be tomorrow. So folks, you get to meet Patricia Ben at Q in the community tomorrow.
And you know what? You guys will see me because since my sister-in-law passed, we decided to wear the shirts that we wore to the funeral. So it will be green, and we'll have her picture in the front and the back. So look for that.
Why do you like to watch Morning Barbados?
Oh, I love Morning Barbados. I love Morning Barbados. I don't know if I can say this on television, but you can stop me if I can't. I love Morning Barbados because it's about what is happening around Barbados. It's about the people of Barbados and not other people's personal, private business. I don't want to know about the stars. I want to know what's happening right here. What's selling, what's not selling, what's doing, how people... I love Morning Barbados. I get all my information here. You know, sometimes I'm watching Morning Barbados and I think, I've never heard that before. For all the years I live in Barbados. So it is very, 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 very educational. Very educational. And I love it. I love it.
Thank you.
And you are...
I don't know what that means.
Top.
Thank you so much, Matt. I appreciate that.
It's beautiful. I love it. And I love my country. I love, not like some of the things that are happening, but that's not on me.
So then how do you mark Independence Day?
Independence Day in the States is not really a big thing for us unless we happen to gather where other Barbadians are gathering. But we don't really celebrate Independence Day in the States as much. You know, but independence is big for me personally because that means that we are an independent nation. You know, so that's good.
Do you do Christmas?
Yes, I do.
Look at the face, how it changed. Yes, I do.
Of course.
And so, for you in the States, do you do a Bajan Christmas or you do an American Christmas?
I do a Bajan every day in the States.
Aha.
So the Bajan Christmas is, but know that my kids are all grown.
Yes.
Christmas is not as big for us as when they were little. But yes, Bajan Christmas, the pork, the ham, the chicken, the macaroni pie, sweet potato, you name it, black cake. I've got a black cake in my refrigerator now for the last 2 years, all mixed up, waiting to be baked. Yeah,
wow.
Yeah. I am a true Bajan. I am a true Bajan.
It is so good to meet you, Pat.
It is so nice to meet you.
I look there every morning to that little, see the little screen?
To see if my name...
That's where, and I would just, where's Pat Ben? I'm not hearing Pat Ben today. At one point, I even asked for his, like, Pat didn't comment today.
I heard that.
That's not like Patricia Ben.
No, I'm on.
Look, there we go. Look, Audrey Dial is saying to you, Patricia Ben, good morning,
Barbados.
Oh my goodness.
Hi, Audrey. How are you, sweetie?
Yes.
I'm having a great time.
There you go. And so here's Shondell Thornhill saying, shout out to my girl Pat.
Nice seeing you, sweetie.
Yes. So they're reaching out to you already on our social.
Because they all knew that I was going to be on this morning.
See? So there you go. And that's what you do.
Yeah.
You are there with us. You keep us company.
Yes, I do.
At the beginning of the show, I always say, I ask one thing of you, share the show. And on your socials, I see that you share the show.
I share. I want everybody to know what's happening.
Who's this here now? Sherrianne
Hi,
Bless.
Sherrianne, my darling.
Yes.
Nice seeing you.
Says, look at my darling Pat. Marcia Rock says, look at my wonderful big sister. She looks fabulous.
Thank you, Marcia.
So you have
Roosevelt. Hi, Roosevelt.
Listen, you become the star on social media, on Morning Barbados page. And so we thank you.
Thank you. There's one person I must say hello to, a former school teacher who have taught me how to be a productive member of society. And her name is Rosetta Holligan. Hello, Rosie. I love you dearly. It is still here. Haven't left my brain.
Wow, Rosetta Holligan, a very special good morning from Patricia Ben.
Yeah.
Pat, touch the flesh.
Oh, my
is so
goodness.
good to see
It
you.
is so nice to meet you, Pearson.
We
so
reached across the miles and we reached across the chairs.
That's right, that's right. Hi, everybody.
So
Hi,
thanks,
everyone.
Pat. I wish
Thank
you
very
well
much.
for the remainder of your holiday and the rest of your time here in Barbados. And Pat, as you know, will be guaranteed to be on the set with us every
Tomorrow
single
morning,
day.
bright and early
There
again.
you go. So Pat, I'm going to give you a chance to tell everybody bye-bye. You know how I end the show, don't you?
Yes.
How do I say it? Let me see, because if you're wrong, you're wrong.
We shall see you all tomorrow morning, if God is willing. My sweetheart is here.
Wake up, wake up, wake up, wake up. Barbados, get up. Good morning.